Hello everyone. I am not working on this today. I will be working on it later when the sun or when it's daylight. It's too early right now because I need to sand some of that off. I just had it up there to remind me to work on it. No, today I'm going to work on one of my layers. Well, I won't say one of my layers. I'm going to work on the layers of my self-portrait. And by that, I mean I'm going to make the layers. I'm not going to put them in because I have like my paintbrush that I want to make a duplicate one of these somehow, just the image or something. I don't know what I'm going to do. And then my glasses I need to make, and as you can kind of see here, I've already been playing around with my glasses, so I need to make a layer for that. So I'm going to make layers, but I'm not going to put them in yet because I don't know the order of the layers yet. I know the glasses will be on top, so that'll be the last layer or one of the last layers. Same with the paintbrush, but I have other ideas for other layers. Like I told you, the flea market. I want to kind of integrate flea market in there. Of course, rust and trash and all that kind of stuff. I did find some patches while I was looking for something else. What was I looking for? Oh, I was looking for the book that I wanted to see if I still had the book that I was going to use for the Scrappy 8 challenge, which I don't, so I probably put it at the thrift store already. But I found some patches. I used to have a square back, so that's why I have this, a Volkswagen square back. And I thought, is there any way I can integrate any of these patches? I don't know. If I did, I would have to grunge it up, obviously. But yeah, so many ideas that I have. I also have a California patch. I have a California sticker, so this kind of stuff may be integrated into my layers. But yeah, so I'm going to be quiet. I won't be talking because I'm going to just do it, just start working on it. So this will help me when I edit and um, to not be talking. So I'm just going to do the stuff and then I'll do a voiceover. Okay. All right. This is what I'm working on now. So bear with me. All right. So I broke out my gel plate and I'm working on the glasses right now. And I have the piece of material that I want to put it on, so I really need to make this work because I really like this piece of material and I only have one size and that's the only piece that I have. So first step is I just put down some black acrylic and then I'm just pressing my glasses into it to use it as a stamp. Um, I'll do it twice. On the material that I like, I will put down a towel underneath to make it kind of soft so it's not hard under the fabric. And then I'll do it on another piece of fabric directly on the desk. So you'll see the two. So this is the material I like. Okay, and like I said, I only have one piece and it's the perfect size. So here I'm putting a towel down under it to make it kind of soft underneath. And then I will move it up. I realized as I was doing this that I was kind of out of the camera, so there. So just pressing it down, and voila. And I do like it. It looks good. I like that it's not solid, and it has kind of like that, like it's shiny or like it's got shine on it. But I like it. All right. So then here's another piece of material that's optional. I don't like it as much as the other one, but I'm going to try it anyways just to see how it looks if you stamp with a hard surface. So now there's no towel underneath it, just the desk. And I'm stamping my glasses down. And this is what it looks like if you have a hard surface. So the soft surface with the towel underneath, way better. So in case you guys are going to do something similar on fabric. So now I have my glasses done, and now I'm thinking about my brush. And I had found some chopsticks in the kitchen, and I thought, well, maybe I can just make another brush out of a chopstick. So I go back and forth, which side will be the bristles, which side will be the top of the brush. Um, and I'm kind of, as I'm doing this, I'm looking at those glasses up there that I really like and contemplating, is this the route that I want to go? Because I have this other brush that is similar to my favorite brush, just a little bit bigger. And I think, you know what, now I'm going to try to make an image with a gel print, kind of like the glasses, except I won't use the brush as a stamp. I'm going to stamp the brush onto the gel plate and then, like normal, and then pick up the image from the gel plate onto a piece of paper instead. So here I am just playing around. I'm using a dark brown this time. And then I'm just trying to see what will happen, or how it'll look, because I have an idea. Well, I won't say I have an idea in my head, because I really don't, but I just know what I like. And so I'm looking at it and I'm like, okay, that's not too bad. I think on this one, it didn't have enough details, so I'm going to try it again. Maybe I had too much paint, so I'm taking some of that paint off, and I'm going to try it again, see what happens. All right, and then this one, I believe it looked better. So I was like, okay, that you can see the bristles and some of the details on the brush. So I take away some of the outer edge, because I don't need that much um, of the image. I just want the brush. So after it's dried, I have decided to. I've never done this before, but I've seen it done. So I'm like, you know what? Let me use my paint pens and color in the image. Let's see what that looks like. So I'm just using my paint pens and painting over the dried image on the gel plate, just to see. I figured, you know what, if it doesn't work out, we can always start all over, right? And I have to say that you have to be careful if you do this, because I noticed sometimes if your marker is kind of dry, it will rub off the image underneath. Um, so you have to make sure you're just painting on top of the image and not taking part of the image off, if that makes sense. Because I think in some spots I did, like on the silver part, some of the image did come off underneath because of the marker. Okay, now that it's dry, I'm just using mixed media over it, matte medium, I should say. Um, Not mixed media. I'm using matte medium over it and just putting it down my paper. And then I'm going to let that dry, and then we'll pull it off and see what it looks like. And here it is. It's not bad. You see some of the some of the paint stayed on the gel plate, but actually it looks kind of neat. It's kind of grungy looking. Um, but I don't like it. I'm gonna try something else now. All right, so now I'm putting down some black paint, and I'm trying like the brush that's similar to the one that's my favorite brush, and I'm doing that. But here, I think, whereas the details look pretty cool, I think it's just too skinny. Um, I don't know. Something about it I don't like, but I'm going to pull up the image and see what it looks like on paper. And yeah, it just looks like a twig. And then I'm like, well, let's try this ghost image. Let's see what that looks like. I'm going to try to pull some of that up and see if that looks any better. No. At least I cleaned my plate though. All right, let's just try some more. Okay, so this looks more like a brush, because that's all I want to represent is artist, right? So, but so I'm just going to start, as you'll see here, just start playing around with some brushes, um, and continue with my gel print adventure here. So just bear with me, all right? All right, so now I'm adding a little bit of a rusty color just to lighten up that black. I think the black is just a little bit too dark. I probably could have even put some more in there. Um, but that's what I thought. It was just the black is just too overwhelming. So now let's see if we can get these in here. Sorry about my head. And yeah, okay. Did the little brush. I didn't even see myself do it. I must have not record. Oh yeah, that's right. I had to edit that part out because my head was in the way. Sorry. Like that. See? All right. So then add the other brush. And I'm just putting some light through it so I can see. And it didn't look too bad actually. I'm just going over the bristle part just to make it more bristly looking. Okay, I didn't like the little brush on the left of the, or the bottom, I should say. So I'm just going to redo that one. And here, whoops, put a little bit too much rust in there. uh, so yeah, I'm trying to make it blend in to the other. And what's happening is I keep, every time I press down the bristles on the small brush, my fingerprint gets on there because it's so thin. The bristles are so thin. That's why I had to redo it. I just want the brush stem to kind of stand out a little bit more. All right, do it again. And we'll let this one dry. Okay, so now it's dried. You can actually see it better now. And I was gonna try to pull it with these two colors, but this it's kind of a cheap acrylic paints, and they're very thin and kind of watery. I want to say, I mean, not real watery, but you know what I mean. It's just, I felt like they didn't stay in the open areas like where the bristles are, so you couldn't really even see the color. You can see the color on the dark against the dark black areas, but you don't really see it where the bristles are. It still looks clear. So I was like, well, I'll just leave it, let this dry. I'm not going to pull it because I don't want to mess it up. And I was going to pull it with another color. As you see, I put over there those two colors, but then I decided, I'm just going to pull it with the matte medium. And then hopefully some of that teal and orange will still be visible. So here I am. It's all dry. I'm just going to try to pull this image now with the matte medium. Hopefully I haven't confused you guys. And trust me, this is an all-day event here because I have to go let it dry. I don't use my heat gun on this. I just let it dry naturally, and it's a rainy day today. So it took a while for the paint to dry. Okay, here we go. All right, so now this is dry. Let's pull the image. And that's some of my own rust dyed paper that I'm using to pull the image. And I also opted for a thicker paper instead of a thin because I didn't want it to crinkle up. But I like this one. This one turned out pretty good. Finally. So just tearing off the edges. And you can kind of see some of that teal and stuff, but it's not real in your face. Although I wouldn't have minded if it was a little bit darker. So here are my 2 layers, and I'm still going to add to these layers. I'm not completely done with them. This is just the basic right now. Kind of like how I did with the family pictures. I added crackle paste, etc. I will add to these 2 layers. I just don't know what yet. Maybe some tabs, maybe some, some sort of details. Plus, each layer doesn't only have to represent one part of you. So you could put your favorite number on a layer with the glasses, etc. It doesn't have to just be one layer, one interest. So anyway, thanks for joining me today, you guys. It's always fun having you guys come along for the ride. And I actually really do talk to you while I'm doing these things. So I know, crazy. Love you guys and see you on the next video. Tschüss.